Summertime, music, and Guelph Lake. You put those three things together and you get the Hillside Festival. And joining me is Samir from the Hillside Festival. Thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure to be here.
And you recently announced your the lineup for the festival this year. You've got a number of great acts. One of the biggest names is Bedouin Sound Clash. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Yeah, they've been with us once before, I think a number of years ago, and at our winter festival. And I know that they've put out a record in the last year, and they've got some interesting new sounds that they've incorporated into their presentation. So we're really looking forward to having them. They're going to be closing Friday night.
And you've also got Hayden, who's been a big name in the Canadian music scene for, oh gosh, since I was a teenager. So it's 20 plus years, maybe even closer to 30 years now.
Yeah, there's there's a thing about this year, it's our 40th anniversary, and then you have these things where it's your 25th, it's your 30th, so your 40th. So we have a lot of history with Hayden going way back, but he just in the last year kind of came back around and started touring and doing a solo tour, and a really successful solo tour, and he just put out a new album. So he's going to come in and do a show with his band on Sunday on our main stage.
Cool. And last year, I had the pleasure to interview an artist by the name of Begonia, who, if you're listening out there, check out her song "Fear." It's one of the coolest songs I've ever heard. Can you tell me a little bit about her? I believe she's from Winnipeg.
Yeah, Begonia, again, this is an artist that we first had exposure to back in 2012 when she was part of a group called Shikamin. And then she started her own band a number of years later, which was Begonia, which was her title for her own thing. And she's performed at the festival before too. But it's been a while since she's been there. And she's also performed at our winter festival. She's a showstopper. It's going to be fantastic.
And right before we started the interview, you told me about a band called Daka Baraka. Can you tell me a little bit about what makes them so unique?
Well, this band we have some history with, as do some other Canadian festivals. That they're from Ukraine, and it's a really unique presentation that has like four musicians on stage, three women and a man, and there's percussive based, and it's Ukrainian music, but it's very unique. Well, to state the obvious, it's been a very delicate time for the Ukrainian people, and this band has toured for the last couple of years, since the situation started over there, through this climate, and it's an incredibly powerful performance. They were supposed to play last year. They had to cancel due to some COVID situation. So they're going to come and play the festival this year, and I can promise you it's going to be one of the highlights of the weekend, that they're going to be performing on Saturday.
Oh, there's so many artists to bring up. I brought up someone most people know, Bedouin Sound Clash and Hayden. I fell in love with Begonia last year when I saw her. Dr. Baraka seems like it's going to be an awesome show. Is there anyone else you really want to highlight for people who are thinking of going out this year?
Well, there's going to be there's an artist that's performing on Sunday named Leith Ross, who's definitely developing a following. I think the artist is from Ottawa. I highly recommend people check that artist out. I mean, there's so many. We've got a few from our past, but there's a lot of new stuff. There's an artist named Juliana Riolono, who also performs with another artist that's going to be at the festival. She's great. She's got a great new record. I think all I'm going to say is that Hillside has always been known for showcasing up and coming artists, and our audience sort of tends to check their tastes at the gate, and they're one of the reasons you get these great sets is that the bands come out and there's this huge response by an audience who doesn't know them, and they put on these amazing sets. And I mean, over the years, it's happened with everybody from Walk Off the Earth to like July Talk, and to the Strumbellas, and Feist and whomever. There's tons of people that have played over the years, and this is this year's version, and there's a whole ton of new artists, and I think folks are going to enjoy it.
And one big thing about a folk festival like Hillside is it's about more than just music. There's a lot of cultural significance to them. For someone who's never been to the Hillside Festival before, or is thinking about going this year, what would you say to someone who wants to come out?
Well, you're 100% correct. It's always about more than music. It's about being able to be in an environment which is incredibly family friendly, but also, has pushes the meter on social and political and environmental issues. It's very conscious of the land, and it's a very safe space for people. There's a lot of great food. That's that and people like to hang out, like it's not just come and watch a bunch of bands on a field or something. It's nothing like that. It's like a whole experience in itself.
All right, that's the Hillside Festival, July 28th to the 30th. For more information, visit hillsidefestival.ca. And Samir, thanks for joining me today.
No problem. Pleasure.